What is happening, Internet? How's everybody doing? Hopefully you can hear me okay. So we're going to be talking about Snydercut's Joker, both in the Nightmare and all the other fun stuff that's going to be happening with the character, as well as proving once again that my source was correct. I was actually headbutting with some people on Twitter a while ago, where they were saying, "Oh, Joker wasn't responsible for burning down Wayne Manor, and he's not going to appear in the Nightmare sequence and all this other stuff." So turns out K-Wing source is right again, because Wayne Manor is burnt to the ground by the Joker, which was not originally the case. Originally, they had a different thing in mind for what happened to Wayne Manor, but I can't tell you what it is because, of course, we never saw Justice League 1 through 3, and there was never a Batman movie explaining, Affleck's time, 20 years as Batman, which was always going to be the thing with Affleck's Batman. He was always going to be his films taking place in a past narrative instead of, after Justice League. So you're going to see Jared Leto not as the... I really wanted to steal that quote from someone, but it was hours ago. Something about Hot Topic ripoff with all the, stuff all over him. So I thought that was great, but yeah. Now Jared Leto's the Ring Joker. But let me explain what's going on in this image. This is a bare bones podcast tonight, so but basically the image that you're seeing is in black and white. Joker's wearing doctor scrubs. He has a couple different variants that you're going to see in the movie. A couple costumes that he wore, just like Ben Affleck's Batman in the Snyderverse has worn a couple different bat suits. Joker's going to have, I believe, according to my intel, 3 different appearances in the movie. One will be in his doctor scrubs. That is not a Arkham Asylum outfit that he has right there. Can you guys hear okay? This is my first time streaming with all the problems, so that's also why we have a just a picture, because I'm on XSplit right now, so that means that XSplit could crash at any moment. I don't really know how to use OBS with this channel because it's connected to my other channel. But anyway, let's get back to Joker. So Joker's going to have 3 main appearances in the movie. One of his appearances that he has right here is Dr. Scrubs. He wears a mask as well. I can't tell you why he has Dr. Scrubs, but he will interact with Batman on a couple occasions. So guys wanted to see more of the Affleck and Jared Leto Joker interact. That's what's going to be happening in the movie. And he's going to kind of look like Ring Grunge Joker, basically. The tats are gone. Some people are asking me, hey, did that mean he had temporary tattoos and things like that? It's like, honestly, I can't really tell you what David Ayer's Joker was about. If the tattoos were... I thought that Joker was supposed to be basically All-Star Joker from Frank Miller and stuff like that. But the tattoos are all gone. He looks kind of like Joaquin Phoenix Joker a little bit. He's got the long hair just like Heath Ledger. And this Joker may be a frenemy, or he could be full-blown acolyte of Darkseid. I'm not really sure. The reason why I talk about the whole Darkseid connection, one of Joker's attires that he'll be wearing in the movie that he's quite proud of, which he'll dub his trophies, is he will be wearing a bulletproof vest of the GCPD that'll be adorned with fallen officers' medals all over it, which he calls his quote-unquote trophies. So it's possibly Jim Gordon and some other famous GCPD officers that are no longer alive. Joker's basically parading around with the remainder of, who they were to tick off Batman and, whoever else is left. I want to say that he throws his lot in with Darkseid and eventually betrays him, but I don't know. He is alive and well into the Nightmare stuff, so you're going to see quite a bit of Joker. And you might, unless they cut it, which I don't know, you might find out more about what happened with Robin. They planned on doing a lot more with the Robin stuff. They haven't cast anybody as far as I know, but it could be a surprise. or they could just show some 30-year-old or late 20s guy answering the door and just, show Leto killing the person. There's been a lot of confusion about what happens to Robin now. In the original plot of Justice League and BVS, Robin was killed in action. And according to intel I have, or things I've heard, Robin was actually killed out of costume, and Joker goes down to the Batcave after destroying Wayne Manor and defaces the Robin suit as like the last insult. No idea why Alfred isn't at Wayne Manor at the time, but he survives Joker's destruction of Wayne Manor. But the Nightmare stuff has been called more akin to kind of like, how do I explain this? What's that? Is it Charles Dickens? The Christmas Carol. So either Joker is haunting Batman in the future, or he's alive and he is a Darksied acolyte. I don't know. The reason why I say I don't know is because I have conflicting information. One source says it happens this way, kind of like Ghost of Future Past thing, and Vanity Fair kind of confirmed it, but not really. And then another source is saying no, he's going to be messing with Batman at different time periods, because the Nightmare future is the future, like where it's going to be a very bleak thing for the Justice League, which that was always the plan. Justice League members were going to die. I don't think you guys want to know who's going to die because you're going to watch the 4-hour movie, but a lot of Leaguers are going to die. And that will either set up the Flash movie or another Snyder Cut. Who knows? But people saying, oh, I saw the 2017 Justice League movie and I didn't like it. I don't really want to sit through 4 hours. Well, you'll be sitting through 4 hours of a brand new movie. It does not share the same plot. There are similar characters, but they don't behave the same way. They're not jokey. They're not cringy. You're not going to have Batman lying on the ground after getting hit by Superman complaining about broken ribs. That was all Whedon. This is going to be a very serious movie with a pretty lengthy nightmare sequence that will have Joker, Deathstroke, Cyborg, Flash, Batman, Superman, the Superman army, more parademons, and the movie's going to be incredibly violent. Like, it's super R-rated. People were already complaining a little while ago about the Amazon deaths on Twitter, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but Amazons died in the Wonder Woman movie in the past. They died in BVS, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember if they died in BVS. But Justice League, they also died in Whedon's version, and, people are kind of upset about Amazons being mowed down by Darkseid's invading forces and Steppenwolf and stuff like that. But it's an R-rated movie. It's basically like 300 Justice League. It's going to be very, very graphic. The war between Darkseid and the Greek gods and things like that, it's going to be a lot more graphic, because I feel that Zack Snyder believes that he does his best work with R-rated stuff. So BVS Ultimate Edition was rated R. Justice League Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, is going to be rated R, and it's 4 hours. I mean, honestly, I'm not really looking forward to a 4-hour movie, to be honest, but seeing more of Ring Joker is going to be interesting. The character is going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people have been saying, hey, this Joker kind of looks like Morbius, which is the upcoming role for Jared Leto. And I don't know if this is Jared Leto's true vision of the Joker, or if this is what Zack Snyder said he wanted his Joker to be, and he wanted to bring back Leto to kind of be like, okay, this is your last chance to do this. Get the haters to stop saying how terrible you were. I'm raising my hand as I was one of the haters that said that Jared Leto's Joker was terrible. I hated All-Star Joker. I didn't like his laugh. The only thing that Leto's Joker made me want to do was literally walk up to the Joker and punch him in the face repeatedly for his performance, to add some more gold crowns in his mouth. It was super cringe. Now, I know they changed a lot of Joker stuff with Ayers, so we didn't really get to see a lot of the stuff that WB yeeted from the movie, as well as, his descent into madness and being essentially the villain of the Suicide Squad. But from the version of Joker that I saw in Suicide Squad, he was just kind of like an annoying side character that really had no significance in the movie. They watered down his part so much to the point where Joker really shouldn't have been in the movie at all. They changed a lot of his interaction between Batman and Harley Quinn in Ayer's stuff, so it didn't really feel like these characters had a history. It was just like Batman was just kind of like Dog the Bounty Hunter, just tracking these different Arkham inmates down and putting them away for good. There wasn't as much story as there was supposed to be, according to what Ayer said. So I trust that David Ayer had more stuff to show us with Joker, as well as a lot of abuse between Harley and Joker, which their relationship can't really survive without that kind of stuff. But they got rid of all that stuff to, kind of appease the Me Too movement and things like that. So I'm pretty confident the version of Joker that we're going to see in Snyder Cut is not going to be All-Star. It's going to be what Zack Snyder interprets as Joker. So basically Frank Miller's Joker with a lot of Joaquin Phoenix influence and Heath Ledger. This Joker, a lot of people say he looks kind of scary because his lips are very overdrawn, which might symbolize blood or some other stuff. It could be blood, I don't know. It's possible that Batman runs into him after Joker tortures some people or something like that, because he's wearing a hospital gown that's like covered in blood. It's going to be pretty disturbing. They cut a torture scene from Ayer's movie, so maybe Leto wanted one. But yeah, a lot of people were telling me, what I love about being right about all this stuff, though, is I have people that they say they bookmark my tweets for when I'm wrong about things, and I'm waiting for them to come back and be like, well, K-Wing was right about the whole Vanity Fair thing. Well, not that I knew Vanity Fair would drop the story, but just Zack talking about how Joker burns down Wayne Manor. He's responsible for a lot of trauma in Bruce's life. He killed Dick Grayson. Taken a lot from Bruce over the past 20 years. And they have a pretty deep connection that's very sick. And just to know that Joker survives the end of the world is very interesting. But does he survive? It boosts my ego even more. I have one of the biggest egos on YouTube. It goes with the territory, guys. I'm not really worried about that. I know it. I wear it like a badge of honor. It's always been that way. You can't do Batman without some type of ego, some type of issue. And I have it in spades. I'm not worried about it.
I mean, someone who jumps around with a bat costume on rooftops, clearly.
Exactly. A guy who jumps around and wears a bat costume, he clearly has issues. Leaping off rooftops, hiding in caves, constantly, what's that word? Very, very broody and things like that. I try to keep my brooding to a minimum, just so people know. But, yeah, I mean, over the years, my contact or source or whatever you call them, they've been pretty good. I would say most of the intel I get from them is about 75-80% correct in some capacity, or, it ends up on the cutting room floor. And, I'm never ashamed to admit when I'm wrong. When it happens, it happens. But the times that it happens isn't very much. So... Yeah, I work hard on my research and people make weird theories. I still might put together a quick little Justice League video before it comes out so I can spoil the movie for people if they care about that. But I will write it as my theory or my predictions or maybe how Justice League will go. But more or less I know what the entire 4-hour movie is going to be. I think you guys are going to be really happy with Martian Manhunter. The actor does a fantastic job. There's some other surprises that I'm not really going to mention, but I did make sure that I wasn't under NDA, because I was under NDA for Justice League 2017, which I found out a little later, so I could have gotten a lot of trouble back in the day, because I didn't know I was on NDA for that in order to look at all the free stuff that they sent and, giving us a free ticket to see Justice League and whatever. I didn't know all that stuff. I thought that, I was just being contacted as an influencer or whatever. But apparently, I signed a NDA that was legally binding back for the 2017 Justice League. So I checked with my friend or contact or source, as well as a WB contact, and I made sure that I'm not under NDA because Justice League is coming back. And my WB rep said, no, this is an all-new movie. This is Zack Snyder's Justice League. And, you know, you didn't sign anything. You want to? I said, no. No. Because I want to talk. Because it feels like this movie is going to follow basically Zack's vision, at least, of Justice League 1 and 2. And we'll get into what characters die and what's going to happen in a later podcast or something like that. I just kind of wanted to discuss what type of Joker you're going to see in this. And I'm interested in it. I mean, I'm not a fan of All-Star Joker. I'm not really a huge fan of Frank Miller's Joker, which, if you guys didn't know, Zack Snyder basically worships the ground that Frank Miller walks on. And he based his Superman, he based his Batman, he based his Wonder Woman, his Justice League, his Joker, all these characters on how Frank Miller has portrayed them to some extent. This is not the animated series characters. This is not DC Comics. I swear to God that Zack Snyder just has tons of bookcases all adorned with different Frank Miller stuff. Maybe Kingdom Come, maybe some Injustice stuff. What they really should have done with the whole multiverse is just say, hey, this world is the Injustice world in cinematic form. Nobody would be mad. Nobody would care. But the only reason people stamp their feet and they get upset, like I do, is this was supposed to be the canon DC film. The whole thing. The forming of the Justice League, the death of the Justice League, and then the triumph of the Justice League, which is, you know, Justice League 1, 2, and 3. Snydercut, the 4-hour movie, is going to be Justice League and Justice League 2. Now, you heard what I said about Justice League 2 briefly, the destruction of the Justice League, and that's what's going to happen. There are going to be people on Twitter that are upset now about the Amazons dying when a very high-profile, iconic character dies. Twitter is going to lose their minds, which has always been the plan, because in the third movie, everybody was supposed to come back, and it was kind of like a Flashpoint / Justice League. What was that movie called? Justice League Dark Apocalypse. Basically, the Justice League Dark Apocalypse movie was Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, except more grim. Justice League 3 only had one character die that was high-profile leading actor, and their death would have been the cornerstone of that, you know, universe. And then it would lead into Flashpoint, because one character would be so upset over the passing of so-and-so that they would end up changing time and space to bring them back. And of course, they wouldn't bring back that same character, but they would bring the character back. But yeah, not, you guys can probably guess who I'm talking about, but for people who haven't seen the movie, I'm not saying that character is going to die. Some of the characters that are going to die will be for shock value, and it's to show you how powerful Darkseid is. And this is without the Infinity Stones or any type of, you know, MCU plot thing. This is just Darkseid being incredibly OP, and you could make comparisons to New 52's Earth 2 books, where Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman are killed by the Apocalypse Invasion. These are going to be much, much stronger characters than the Steppenwolf that you saw that was kind of a wimp in Whedon's thing. This is going to be hardcore. Like, Darkseid fans are going to love this movie. Casual fans of DC characters are probably going to be pretty shocked, because, yeah, characters died in the MCU, but they turned to dust. You're going to see bodies of high-profile DC characters just dead. One of them might get Omega beamed and vaporized. The other ones are literally just ew. So that's why it's rated R.
Amazons are warrior women.
Yeah, Amazons are warrior women. They die fighting.
Even like historical or like legends of them, like talked about them being killed and stuff. So I mean, they live to fight. Even though they're women, they're there to fight.
Yep. So if this movie bombs, which it might, because if you guys didn't know this, Snyder was very adamant ever since the project was greenlit for the movie to be his 4-hour cut. It had to be his 4-hour cut, and he demanded that. I'm trying to remember how much the budget has become now. I think they're over 80 million now. Before it was only supposed to be 25 million for like a, what was it, like a 4-episode miniseries or something like that, and they were gonna chew up some of the time with like an intro and an outro and a last time on Justice League type thing, but all that got thrown out the window. Snyder got his way. It's Justice League 1 and 2 in one complete movie that's 4.5 hours long. Yikes. And it's going to introduce a lot of DC characters that were cut from the original film. Also, William Dafoe is back in the movie. So if you guys liked William Dafoe's role in what was the name of that? Just Aquaman was the name of the movie. William Dafoe's back in the movie. There's more Henry Irons. At least I think that Jeremy Irons, the Alfred character. Alfred for me will always be Michael Caine, but if you wanted to see more of Irons Alfred, he's going to have more stuff in the movie. Ben Affleck has more stuff. Gal Gadot has scenes that she shot, which I'm not going to say anything, but those were new scenes that was not in the original Justice League, because people have this misconception that you've seen this before. You've seen some of it, but not all of it. And some of you are probably going to be super angry, and some of you are going to be delighted and call this like the best movie ever. But I don't like 4-hour epics. The Joker stuff I'm going to be very interested to see, because just from the images, Joker looks freaky. Joker's supposed to look freaky. He's not supposed to be... I know they call Cesar Romero's Joker the Clown, but the clown that we saw was in Suicide Squad. He wasn't the psychopath. He was just... The psychopath was the stuff that Jared Leto was doing behind the scenes, like sending dead rats to people, and we didn't really get to see the killer clown or crazy clown for Jared Leto's stuff. But if they're calling Leto's Joker the psychopath, that would be the image that you guys are seeing on your screen. That is terrifying. There's so much going on with this image that you're thinking, why is he in hospital scrubs? Why does he look like he's covered in blood? What's going on with this? Why is Batman going to meet him? And how do I know Batman meets him? If you look at an earlier image where Batman is in the same corridor as the Joker, you can see Batman in his nightmare attire, and he's speaking to the Joker, or at least he was. His back is to... The one poster is his back is to the audience, and it says Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then the other image or poster they released is the Joker, which is in the same corridor Batman is, except he's sitting down, and he's kind of looking at him like... I don't know how Leto's Joker's going to sound. Joker's going to have a different voice. He's going to have entirely different demeanor, different body language. Like, people who saw him in... Ayer's, Suicide Squad, this isn't the same Joker. It's almost like it's not even the same actor. Like, Jared Leto is just gonna... I don't know if he's gonna have his stupid laugh that he had. But just from the things I've seen 3 Joker images. There's 3 that are circulating. 2 have been released. I've seen 3. Well, technically 4, because there was one released where he's holding... the 1940s Joker card that was also used in what was the name of that book? Jeff Johns' 3 Jokers. So he has the traditional Joker playing card, which he's actually the only Joker in cinematic history to use the actual 1940s Joker card. And yeah, all the other Jokers have used variants from different Elseworld stories, and also I believe Heath Ledger's Joker was using medieval playing cards or old school playing cards that had like medieval characters on them.
Looks like Heath Ledger cranked up to 11.
He does kind of look like Heath Ledger, but I mean, either this Joker is super depressed and he let his hair grow, like I let my hair grow over the past year. Amber cut my hair a little while ago, and she was like, you realize if I cut your hair like this, you're going to have a mullet. And I was like, I don't care, just cut it. And that was the day before my x-ray, so I got a haircut. Although my hair is still kind of long in the back. It's not quite Jared Leto Joker hair, like long, but it's still pretty long. And you guys saw my community post. Everything went well with the x-rays, except they told me my jaw is kind of worn because I talk a lot online. Apparently it happens to a lot of like radio personalities and other things like that. I have, in my career, I've made over 10,000 videos. 2,500 or over 2,000 on this channel, and then 8,000 on the other channel. And I made a bunch of videos for GameZone, Got Game, and GameSpot back in the day. So I've done a lot of stuff with my voice and my jaw, and it's my own fault. It comes with the profession. But yeah, Jared Leto, he's going to surprise a lot of you guys. I would consider myself a hater of Suicide Squad. If we would have seen the Ayer cut, I probably would have given Leto's Joker more slack, because you'd actually get to see more of his performance. That's when I hate when studios cut things, because you really don't get to see what the director's vision was. You don't get to see what the actor did, and all the crap he did behind the scenes. You never really got to see implemented on the screen, because he became kind of like I said, he was a clown that just showed up every once in a while. He didn't really do anything to the plot, and he had a much more substantial role in the Suicide Squad for Harley Quinn, for the Suicide Squad. It wasn't just this CGI, I can't even remember her name, Enchantress. It wasn't just the Enchantress as the big bad. Joker was almost the focal point of the movie, which would have set up either his appearance in the Batman movie or, a Harley Quinn movie. Who knows? It's really, really interesting. So, one of the images that I've seen is Joker wearing the bulletproof vest with all the GCPD stuff on it, and that image is freaky. Like, Joker looks straight up like a serial killer. I don't know if it's going to be a poster. I don't know if it was just for press, but at least today, I haven't seen it on the internet other than in my email, and I cannot release it. I know that. My source said I cannot release that image. And I'm being told that other people can't release it either. So there's a huge marketing campaign that's going on right now, as well as what I would really love. I don't know if you guys did this or not, but when Justice League and BVS came out, I bought a ton of merch for those movies. And Zack Snyder has, along with Warner Brothers, have released a ton of merchandise. There's a Darksied shirt. There is the new Justice League logo. They're going to have action figures. They're having all this stuff happening. And it's like, but I don't have the money. So back when BVS and Justice League released, I had the means sort of to get some of those cool figures and merch and stuff like that. So I'm going to miss the merch train this time around. But there's a lot of cool stuff this time. There's Joker shirts coming. There's Joker merch. There's tons of Batman merch. There's Superman stuff with him in his black suit. Darksied t-shirts, caps, posters, both in him with his armor look and in the very beginning. But he is going to straight up wreck the Justice League. I can't wait to see that. I think that's going to be dope. People might be crying and stuff like that, but basically Darkseid is going to put Thanos to shame, just like how incredibly powerful he's going to be on screen. And I don't know what's going to... Well, we know Superman doesn't die. Superman is going to be, like, whipped around, slapped around and called Susan by Darkseid, basically. So, originally what was going to happen in the first Justice League movie, which everybody knows this, but in Snyder's vision, Steppenwolf dies, and the Justice League is super cocky, and they send the severed head of, what's his name, Steppenwolf, back to Darkseid. Darkseid is wicked ticked, and then the second movie comes and he kicks all their butts. So now, Darkseid is going to be a bigger role in the 4-hour movie, because it's not just, oh my gosh, 4 hours of Justice League. No, it's essentially 2 stories in one movie. Justice League 1 and Justice League Part 2. Some of Justice League 2, because they couldn't do all of it. But Zack changed his story to accommodate kind of both these movies in one film. That's why it's 4 hours. So all the haters and all the journalists that Zack roasted the other day, which was hilarious. I don't know if I'm in that same loop because I've said I'm pretty sure Zack's camp knows that I don't like him for killing Dick Grayson, and I get kind of I get kind of emotional and rough with his PR people sometimes. But I don't know if he puts me in the same group as a lot of the journalists that he called out. But basically, Warner Brothers told him he can't yell at a bunch of press right now. But he basically told them they know who they are, and half the stuff they're talking about is all lies, and they have no idea what the movie is going to be. So, I mean, the only people who would actually know what's going on with Zack's movie is people that actually attended his conventions or watched them. And you know that we've done videos talking about this in podcast over the years about what the true vision of Justice League was. More or less, if you've heard that stuff, spoilers, that's what you know, that's what you can expect. But there's going to be a lot more twists compared to what the vision was, because, you know, Zack really wanted to make people be like, oh, you know, DC is going to be wicked ticked that, you know, there's going to be no more DC stuff from Zack, because apparently he said he doesn't want to do DC stuff anymore after this. But if this stuff is successful, you know, Warner Brothers is going to beg for him to do a sequel, more or less. And Ben Affleck, they want him to do, or at least HBO Max wants them to do a miniseries, because Zack didn't do his miniseries. But according to rumors, the Ben Affleck stuff wouldn't shoot until after the Flash movie. So that's still at least a year or two away. But, you know, Joker, he's going to surprise a lot of people. And also the journalists that have said terrible things, myself included, about Joker's performance. We're going to basically eat our own words, eat our hats, like our Justice League caps, just pass the salt and a little pepper, because just based on the image I saw, the one where he has the bulletproof vest of the officers with damaged badges that you can still see that they say GCPD on it. You don't know if Joker became like a straight up serial killer or a bounty hunter or whatever, but there's so many badges on the bulletproof vest, and he just looks evil. Like here, he just looks like kind of a doctor who's ended his shift, and he's just kind of like, oh, I need to talk to Batman now, or, you know, I'm just having one of those days. Oh gosh. But that one image where he's wearing that vest, which I can't show you guys. The only two images I could show would be the one that I made this thumbnail for, which I like that image better. And the other one is he is pointing his finger or something, like he's talking to somebody, blaming somebody. It's probably a scene between him and Batman. There isn't going to be a lot of stuff between Joker and the rest of the Justice League. It's mostly going to be Batman and the Joker, because people really wanted a Batman and the Joker interaction because of their very rich history in the Snyderverse, which, yeah, I call it the Snyderverse because Snyder put these characters together, and maybe the multiverse changed things up quite a bit with Wonder Woman 84 and Aquaman and the Flash movie coming out and stuff like that. But essentially it was Snyder's verse, which I see as part of the multiverse. And it's a very dark depiction of it. Dark Superman, dark emo Superman, Batman that's lost all hope, a Flash who doesn't really know what he's doing, a cyborg who basically loses his family, and, you know, he's this what do you call it? He's barely human. Cyborg's gonna get a lot of justice in the film, so that's good. But it's a shame they're not gonna recast him, because the character is gonna soar like never before. All of his stuff is back in the movie, and then some. And they also, to definitely change up the movie, they kill. There's gonna be a lot of death. Iconic characters, Leaguers, lots of stuff that was not in the original, but it was panned for Justice League 2. It was part of the Justice League 2 vision. So.
Are they showing like the relationship
Harley Quinn is not in the movie. Margot Robbie did not come back. There is Crow Joker. I like that. You win the internet. I like that. That's getting pinned. I like that. The Crow Joker.
That whole thing with Harley and Joker's abusive relationship that's not even going to be in the movie.
No, there's no Harley Quinn in it. And actually, originally, this is one of the key differences you can tell your friends about. In the original vision of Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy or whatever, and Ben Affleck's trilogy, the Joker wasn't the one who actually killed Robin. The Joker had Harley Quinn kill Robin. So Harley Quinn was the one responsible for killing Robin, but now it's the Joker. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, Joker's the one who kills Robin. And he kills Dick Grayson, which means there's no Bat Family, no Nightwing, no Jason Todd, no Batgirl. Well, actually, I don't know about that one. There's supposedly a Batgirl thing happening with Keaton, and he's still doing Batman Beyond or whatever. But no Batgirl, no Tim Drake, no Signal, no anybody. Because Dick Grayson was kind of like the pinnacle of Robins, and the fact that he survives and Jason didn't really make people, really interested in being Batman's sidekick. It would kind of like close the doors, because Robin survived the first one, then he grew up and became his own superhero. Jason Todd was the second Robin, screwed up, died, but then people always go back to the mold of the first Robin, like, well, he survived, and he worked well with Batman. My chances of survival are probably pretty good, so, it's kind of that mindset that you don't have when the first Squire is dead. It doesn't really work really well for Batman as an employer to be like, okay, I know my first sidekick died, but the chances that you live, probably higher than his. Probably. And then his second sidekick would be Jason Todd. But I can tell you some of behind-the-scenes drama if you don't care. As you guys know, Warner Brothers really wanted it to be Jason Todd, the Robin that died. On the set of BVS, they planned on shooting a funeral sequence as a quick flashback of the dead Robin. Or rather, the person, you wouldn't see the person in the coffin, but it was Dick Grayson. So you were going to see a burial of Dick Grayson in the graveyard near the burned down Wayne Manor or whatever, because that's where the grave was. And they were going to film, or they did film, the gravestone that said Dick Grayson. Here lies Richard John Grayson or whatever. But word got out, and WB did everything they could to kill that from making it into BVS, and they made sure that it didn't happen in some of the horrific sequences that Ben Affleck's Batman experienced in Justice League. So they did everything they could to try to undermine that, which, if they really wanted to undermine, what happened with the gravestone, all they could have done is change the name on the gravestone. You could have put, here lies Jason Todd. And then eventually Snyder would have to be like, oh, they showed the dead Robin, and it's not Dick. That's not what my vision was, but, I'm just going to roll with it now. I feel like a lot of these executives aren't as smart as comic fans. So if they would have actually showed the gravestone and rewritten it, then right there, boom, it's canon. The fans know that Jason's dead. The fans know that Red Hood could come into the series. And that gives people, more hype. And also, you could have Batman and Dick Grayson estranged from each other, which leads to a whole Arkham movie with Nightwing or whatever. There was a lot of possibilities that they screwed up.
They changed the mustache with CGI, but they can't change the name on
They changed, yeah. So, you're probably going to see the gravestone for Dick Grayson show up. There's going to be a lot more Wonder Bat sequence, and Batman might be driven crazy again because of some things that happen with Darkseid and the Justice League. So they actually cut a lot of the Wonder Bat flirting, which you guys saw in the original trailer where they're at the Bat computer when they're putting together the Justice League. There was going to be more of a push for that because apparently Snyder liked it. I like Wonder Bat, so.
Is this like a whole redoing of the entire Justice League movie?
A lot of the movie was redone, or reshot for an extended sequence. So you've got Zack Snyder's Justice League 1 was pretty lengthy as it was. It was supposed to be like 2.5 or 3 hours or something like that. And then essentially what he did with all the money that he got was he found a way to end his story by making it super depressing and combining elements of what he wanted to do with Justice League 2.
So it's like he combined Justice League with BVS.
I mean, it has the same tone as BVS. If you love BVS, this movie has the same tone. And then some. And I believe Batman says the F word twice.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, if people care about that, woo. Batman gets edgy. Batman got to swear in BVS. He didn't get to really swear in Justice League, but I'm pretty sure he says the F word twice in the 4-hour movie. Don't care. People are like, don't care. Love it. Don't care. Yay. But Joker is going to be messing with Batman quite a bit in the movie, like during key sequences. He's either a ghost because Batman killed him, or he is real and he's just trolling Batman based on, you know, how the world has fallen apart, and it's kind of Batman's fault. Because Batman is responsible for giving the okay to taunt Darkseid, and Darkseid comes and smacks everybody around. So the world being destroyed is not Superman's fault, it's Batman's, supposedly, which was part of the original vision of the second movie that was, of course, never made, but now technically was made. There's supposed to be a comic book coming out, too, that will, you know, showcase. I don't know if that's going to release before the Snyder Cut or after, but they always do that anyway. They make movie comics. I don't know if they made one for Whedon's Justice League, though. I think they did. I might get the comic. I don't know. I have the Batman 89 and Batman Returns and Batman Forever comics. I did have the Batman and Robin comic at one point, but I don't really care what happened to it. What I like about that comic book, which was funny, is they make you know that it's a movie, because the comic book opens with like Schumacher and other people saying action, and then the story begins with them playing out. But the story in the comic book was better than the movie, which I find hilarious.
What do you think of the direction where it's going?
What do I think of Zack Snyder's direction? Zack Snyder excels at R-rated movies, and I think he's a great storyteller. I think that if Warner Brothers handed him like the Lord of the Rings franchise, I think he'd do amazing things with it, because he's that kind of storyteller. As far as making a shared universe and not ticking people off and killing iconic characters and legacy characters, he sucks at that kind of stuff. His reasoning for killing Robin is because he says that Robin is not an important character. Same thing with Jimmy Olsen. He's just as bad as Dan Didio, except he's younger, so that makes him more dangerous. That makes him more dangerous for comic book fans, because Dan Didio, we had the opportunity of the guy getting senile and retiring at some point. But if this is a resurgence for Zack Snyder, it's very dangerous because he hates legacy characters. The only reason he killed Dick Grayson is because he knows that Dick Grayson has a higher connection as Batman's son than some of the other Robins, so it would cause Batman to become a killer. And that was his... Basically, he reverse girlfriend in the refrigerator syndrome is what he did to the son of Batman. But at the same time, he ruined Bat-lore because he prevented Damian, Tim, Jason, Barbara, all these other characters from appearing in movies that people really wanted to see with Ben Affleck, like Red Hood, Tim Drake, Nightwing, Hush. There really is no massive... what do you call it? There's not really a big rogues gallery anymore because apparently Batman killed a bunch of people. So, which was something they were going to go over in the past films, but Joker was alive in Suicide Squad, which didn't make any sense because if Batman's a killer, why didn't he kill Joker? So, because I have two conflicting sources with Joker's appearance in the future, I want to believe one over the other. I don't think that Joker's alive, but he could be. Joker could be taunting Batman as a ghost the way that Mark Hamill taunted Batman in Arkham Knight, which would explain why Joker appears in 3 different costumes in the movie, because he would represent the whole Charles Dickens thing of the ghost of the past, the ghost of the future, and the ghost of the present, which would explain why Joker has 3 costumes. Now, I know I'm just hypothesizing, but the only problem is that source is hardly ever right. That source is better at video game stuff, and they're very bad at DC animated movies and Warner films. The other source, who talked about the burning of Wayne Manor and Joker having like 3 or 4 pivotal scenes in the movie and being in the nightmare sequence and all this other stuff, it sounds like his stuff is more legit than the guy saying the Charles Dickens route with the Joker, but it could go either way. We won't know until March, specifically. And sometimes, they throw me a bone, and other times they like throwing me off. They like me to grasp at straws, as well as like to figure it out on my own. That the detective stuff. At least one source has said that. They like when I do that. They also, how they got in touch with me over the years was the Bat lore stuff. I don't know if Ryan Reynolds or the Green Lantern that was supposed to be in the movie, which I think I can say because I said I'm not under NDA, but they were never going to use Hal Jordan. The reason why they wanted to use Ryan Reynolds is because Zack Snyder loves him, because of how supportive he was over the Snyder Cut, and knowing, that the Snyder Cut didn't exist, or it did exist. Ryan Reynolds was very nice and very supportive, and even said he would appear in the movie at one point, but Ryan has been so busy with the 3 or 4 movies that he's been working on, so I don't know. He could show up, but the funny thing is that's not the Green Lantern they wanted to introduce. The Green Lantern of 2814 is supposed to be Jon Stewart, so they were going to go the Jon Stewart route. I don't know if that's still happening, because whenever I ask them about Green Lantern, they tell me just watch the movie. Both sources say that, so they're not going to tell me. Probably because they don't want me to make a video. Because if I make a video, then other YouTubers are going to make a video about similar stuff. So I don't know. I know Grace was saying for the longest time that it was going to be Hal Jordan with a cameo of Ryan Reynolds. But the only reason Ryan was going to be in the movie at one point when they were shooting stuff, and he was near the Warner Brothers studios when they were shooting, so it's possible he showed up for like a few hours as a cameo, but I doubt it. I really think that if they're really going for the diversity thing, then they'd have it be Jon Stewart, which would make sense because Jon Stewart is actually my favorite version of the Green Lantern for the Justice League because of what Dwayne McDuffie did with the Justice League cartoon. And, Snyder did see some episodes of the Justice League cartoon show because that's where he got the idea for Martian Manhunter. Shazam is not going to be in Justice League. I don't even if there's a 2. Zachary Levi, I love him, but I don't think he's in good graces with Zack Snyder. Zachary Levi at numerous conventions has joked around about the Snyder Cut not existing and telling people it was never going to happen and that Zack was gone. Zack holds grudges. So, I don't see that ever happening. I didn't believe that Zack did it, and then I saw some of the stuff that Zachary Levi did, and I was just like, dang. So, if you're a fan of Shazam and Zack Snyder, I don't think they would ever coexist in a thing, unless, Levi would go back and backpedal or something and apologize. But even after the Snyder Cut came out, Zack has never, like, when I mean Zack, I'm talking about Zachary Levi. Chuck has never printed a retraction to what he said about the Snyder Cut. There's sound effects from your computer that are playing. Is it still going on? Can you guys still hear? Have they been able to hear me this whole time, or have I just been talking to myself? Well, that was weird. Still? It's happening right now? Oh, the subscriber thing. Oh, okay. I'm getting subscribers apparently. 1 sec. Yeah, I see what's happening. That's because Wind Waker. 1 second. Dang it.
I don't even know how to turn it off.
I think it's no. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of subscribers because of Wind Waker. What is this? Streamlabs alert. Boom. There you go. Alright, let's go back. Mwah.
Sorry for
That's not it. That's not it either. Well, where did Jared Leto go now? Oh darn. I think I just broke it. I lost my Joker picture now. Yikes. No. I'll just make another one. It's not a big deal. I'm just gonna put. I have to put another picture of Jared Leto now. Where are you at? Where are you at, creepy crow Joker? There he is. Alright, he's back. Okay. Hopefully, yeah, we were getting a lot of subscribers because we did Wind Waker. We're doing Wind Waker every night around 9 o'clock. The HD version, so that's what's going on. I have 2 channels. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about what? Did somebody ask me a question or something? Because I'm... Oh, we were talking Shazam. Shazam. I think Shazam was supposed to show up in Justice League 3, but, I mean, unless Zachary changes his tone, I don't see Zack forgiving him, and also Zack has said he's not doing DC movies anymore, but I think that if the movie is as successful as a lot of people are thinking it's going to be at the Warner camp, basically HBO Max is going to be begging Snyder to do a miniseries for them, like, because that's what that's kind of what sold the idea of HBO Max. I don't know if that's a secret or anything like that, but the sales of HBO Max increased when people thought it was going to be a miniseries. And then when, you know, they announced foolishly, I think it was like, what, 2 weeks ago, that it was going to be a 4-hour movie, their subscriptions thing started to go down because a lot of people don't really want to watch a 4-hour movie. They wanted to watch, like, it was supposed to be a new episode in the middle of March every Friday. It was either Friday or Sunday for 4 weeks. Yeah, it'd be 4 weeks. 4 episodes, 4 weeks. And then they were going to have, like, a documentary, like the making of the Snyder Cut, which I think they're still doing, unless it's a book now. And that would have been, like, an exclusive thing on HBO Max. But now it's just, I think you're getting a documentary later. But everybody wanted it to be like a Game of Thrones thing, especially to drive subscription costs.
That was your super chat from a long time ago.
Basically, it's going to be Apocalypse War. Yeah, except, you know, there aren't really that many characters to kill, so they're going to kill a lot of lead characters. Which will lead into the reason why Flash is running away in one sequence to try to, you know, go back in time. It's basically, yeah, it's basically Injustice, it's Apocalypse War, it's Flashpoint, it's all rolled into one.
What will this do for the rest of the DC?
Well, I mean, for the Snyderverse, it's going to end the Snyderverse. Like, this is the end of the Snyderverse. You can't have people watching this movie and be like, what's going to happen next? It's like, if you want to find out what happens next, you're going to have to watch the Flash movie, and the Flash movie is going to be much lighter in tone. Like, it's kind of like a comedy. This movie is going to be super depressing, especially if you're a fan of a certain character that gets the axe and doesn't come back. They get replaced with other people. Justice Leaguers die, and then Batman replaces them as team members. Like, you get... I can't say who they are without telling you who dies. So somebody betrays them, some people die, and Flash runs away, basically.
And then Flash goes into the other universe.
And then Flash will end up running into his new movie or something. At least that's the idea now. There is a concrete ending to the Snyderverse that could be open to continuing, depending on how successful it is, but I don't think Zack wants to do it. This is Zack's swan song. This is Zack saying, screw you, Warner Brothers, this is what I was capable of. You pulled the wool over my eyes, you took advantage of a horrible situation in 2017, and this is what everything could have been. Your fault. You didn't trust me, and I'm done. And the internet's going to be talking about it like crazy. Snyder fans are going to be eating this movie up like for no tomorrow, hailing it as like one of the best movies of all time. The skeptics are going to have their jaws hit the floor, and they'll still find things to hate about it. Me Too movement's going to go crazy. Cancer culture is going to hate a lot of elements of this movie because, certain characters happen to die. They're going to say, oh, this character died because of whatever diverse reason. Or this character wasn't in the movie very long. Everybody but the Flash, and something else happens. The Flash is one of the key characters that sets up the new DC universe, more or less. Which everybody knew that, so it's not,
Thanos snapped by Snyder.
There's no Thanos snap, just lots of blood. Darkseid and his army use they use guns, or like alien guns, and they use a lot of spears. And Darkseid has a fun weapon besides his Omega beams that he uses. So you guys will like that, maybe. See, I didn't really like the 300 because it was too violent, and the idea of seeing Justice League 300 just kind of bothers me. I don't think I'll be when Amber and I are sitting on the couch next month watching this. I don't really see me eating anything because I'm probably gonna be sick to my stomach like during the last chapter. Nothing with tomato sauce. Not gonna be ordering pizza. I'm probably gonna be shocked. I might pause the movie, or I don't want to tell you what I do when things get too intense in theaters. I'm embarrassed, but it's just something I've always done. I don't like when situations are super tense in films. It bothers me. There are several things I don't like. I don't like when a character is overly embarrassed. It bothers me because I was embarrassed a lot in school. And I don't like seeing people lose their heads or like certain types of really grotesque stuff. So I think people are going to be surprised at when Wonder Woman finally gets to kill Steppenwolf the way that she did originally. And then the way that the movie is going to kind of like trick you into thinking it's going to have a happy conclusion, and then boom, all of a sudden here's Darkseid like destroying everything. Yeah. It's going to be something else. Because they have, the reason why I know Darkseid's going to be later in the movie, he's in the very beginning of the movie and then he comes later, is because they have two different versions of Darkseid. You got Darkseid without his armor during the war with the Greek gods in the past and the seizing of the mother boxes, and then you have other images that appear on merchandise with Darkseid in his armor, where he comes back to Earth to destroy it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think you guys might like it. I don't know. But I'm going to say this again. The Joker stuff is going to go one of two ways. One, Joker was killed by Batman and is haunting him in the Nightmare universe. He will appear 3 times in 3 different costumes as a specter or a regret that Batman has, and he's hallucinating because the world is in such a horrible place. Number 2, the other source, who has been right more than wrong, says that Jared Leto's Joker is going to appear in the Nightmare world as either an acolyte for Darkseid or a double agent for Batman, and Batman and Joker are going to interact quite a bit in the Nightmare world. And he also will have his 3 attires that mentioned. like a past look for flashbacks when he killed Robin or burned down Wayne Manor. So more of the traditional Joker with like a purple coat or whatever, and you know, Joker stuff, or his bulletproof vest thing, serial killer look, and of course his doctor gown, surgeon thing. Because if you guys didn't know, Joker's a chemist, very brilliant, scary guy. So he's doing something sus. I don't know. When I find out some information, I don't mind spoilers, but I don't want to know too much about what's going on in the scene. So when I see images or people like share information with me, it's just kind of like, I don't mind spoilers, but I don't want to know everything that's going on. And the reason why I don't mind spoilers is because I have this nasty habit of 20 minutes into a movie, I know exactly how it's going to end. So if somebody goes right out and tells me, okay, this is what's going to happen, or this character dies, it's like, I don't care. Because I probably would have seen like the death flag an hour or two before it even happened. And the only thing that doesn't happen for me is Asian film and stuff. I can't. That's why I watch anime and K-dramas more for entertainment, because I'm actually entertained because I'm not able to guess what happens. Because I'm usually completely wrong and be like, oh, that character, something horrible is going to happen, and then a main character gets hit by a car and that's it. Or the mother falls down a stairs and breaks her neck. You never know in K-dramas what's going to happen. They're always, they put me on the grip of my seat because I can't predict it. I don't know. But when I watched pretty much every movie I take Amber to, whether it was a Warcraft movie or any of the Marvel films, like 15-20 minutes in, I'd whisper to her, this is what's going to happen, this is probably how it's going to end, and you know, I'm about 90% right. And she's just like, so sometimes she doesn't like me telling her because spoilers. It looks like Jared Leto has been working at a hospital like during the Rona. Yeah, he's done. But yeah, I'm excited for Jared Leto's thing. I want merch. That's what the most upsetting thing is, I would love Justice League merch, because I didn't care about getting Justice League merch when I was working with Warner Brothers, and they sent me like this really cool they sent Amber and I this massive box that was huge. It was filled with Justice League stuff. I want them to do that again because I'm actually excited about this one. I know it's my birthday month too, and I really want it, but I'm not really on that press junket anymore, so I'm not really seen as a key influencer anymore, so I won't really get that kind of stuff from Warner Brothers. Once in a while I'll get like a game early, but as far as like randomly getting Legos or like massive gift bags or stuff sent to me, those days are over, which is a bummer because it's something I'm really interested in, so I would kind of like to promote and help like influence things, but this is all I can do, is just kind of like these little teaser podcasts or, you know, little videos building hype. I'm an okay influencer. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have to share today. I kind of talked about Joker. I mean, there's really not a lot going on. I can share a couple of things that I've got from email, written, that was basically echoed in Vanity Fair, though. It's mostly the same. If you've read the Vanity Fair article, then it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Zack's vision for the Joker, totally Frank Miller-esque. And he kills Dick Grayson, burns down Wayne Manor. We learn how Robin dies in flashbacks, or at least this is what Zack wanted to happen. Whether or not it's going to happen in the movie, they say, we don't know. You'll have to watch. Director's plan was to show how they became like this, how Joker's like this, what the effect of Batman losing his parents really did, what the effect of losing Dick Grayson. Joker's new sequence in Justice League is pretty jaw-dropping, blah, blah, blah. You know? He's Ra's al Ghul, yeah. You left me for dead and burned my house to the ground. Consider us even. Yep, Joker's Ra's al Ghul. Confirmed. There you go. I always thought that it was weird that Wayne Manor was burnt to the ground, but they had a different reason for it originally. But now it's all changed because, reasons. Maybe I don't know. I just can't see that Joker would be alive in the nightmare sequence if a lot of Batman's rogues are dead from Batman over the course of after the death of Robin. It doesn't feel like Bruce would really let Joker live after killing his son. Like, he didn't kill Joker after Jason Todd died because he had that kind of safety net, and he had that group support between Nightwing, Barbara, Alfred, Jim Gordon, and Superman in the comics. In fact, after Jason died and Superman came to tell Batman he couldn't kill Joker because Joker was in some foreign country and he was a diplomat, you can't kill him because it'll be an international incident. Batman was so ticked at Superman that he punched him in the face and he broke his hand. In this universe, Batman really has no support system. Like, everybody is dead except for Alfred and Jim. Although originally, like I told you guys, Jim Gordon was supposed to be dead. But then they decided to bring him back for the Justice League movie with Snyder and some other stuff. Because they kind of made a hint that Jim was dead in BVS, but they just bring him back because the police are actually hunting Batman, where Jim wouldn't really let that happen before. In fact, it's so weird that Jim Gordon is in the Justice League movie, both of them, like both Snyder's and Joss Whedon's, because the type of Batman that appears in BVS is being hunted by the police. He's not an ally of the cops. He's kind of like Public Enemy. Like, he's literally killing people. He killed Rogues Gallery people. He brands people and they get killed in prison. He's not really very good on GCPD's radar. So to have Jim Gordon appear in Justice League and Justice League being friendly with Batman, it just, I don't know, it doesn't seem to work with what they were doing with BVS, but whatever. Nobody cares.
Luke, do you think you would watch this Snyder movie more than once, or you just watch it once and be like in shock and never watch it?
It's 4 hours long. The only way I would continue to watch the Snyder Cut if it was a miniseries. I don't have time to sit through a 4-hour movie. I've seen the extended edition of Lord of the Rings twice in my life.
Okay.
I've never gone up to Amber and been like, "Hey, do you want to watch 4 hours of Lord of the Rings, this movie, or this movie?" And we're more like, I'd rather watch an episode of Lois and Clark, or let's put on the animated series. Let's watch Teen Titans Go. Excuse us, we find it funny. Let's watch some School Rumble, or let's watch some Looney Tunes show. We don't watch these massively long movies because we don't have time. We're YouTubers. We're literally working on our other channel so many hours a day. I have to take time out of my day to watch a 4.5-hour movie on the 18th. And I still don't know what games are coming out on the 18th. Like, that's going to throw my entire schedule off for like a whole day.
Get up at 5 in the morning and watch it.
No, it's not going to come out till the evening. It's going to release like either in the afternoon or the evening of the 18th. It's not even coming out early in the morning that we could reset our schedule.
Oh my gosh.
It's midday or something like that.
February 18th?
No, not February 18th. March 18th. 1 month after my birthday. Exactly 1 month. And I told people it was going to be in March. I said it would be like the middle of March. But
We were right.
it's only 4 hours. Only 4 hours.
I don't have 4 hours of free time.
That's insane. I don't want to watch a 4-hour film. I'm doing it for you guys.
Last time I watched 3 hours of Lord of the Rings, I think I ended up crying because it was so depressing. I don't see how I could watch this. 4 hours of people dying.
They don't die until near the end of the movie. Like, it's like there's, I guess I don't even know how many arcs there are going to be now. Is there first arc with Aquaman and Batman, which was cut from the movie, I can tell you guys this. There's a new opening sequence So everybody knows is gone. That was Whedon. Everybody knows. Blah blah blah. Shut
Oh
up.
my gosh, that weird.
Yeah, the weird sequence with the guy kicking over the fruit and yeah, all that stupid stuff.
Do you think that movie will be enjoyable to watch?
Yeah,
Like,
I think the movie, if you like DC characters and you like Zack Snyder's work, it's going to be a cinematic masterpiece in terms of how it's shot. But if you like certain characters, you're probably going to be like ripping, like biting off your arm, because there's going to be a lot of moments that are going to tick you off. Not I'm not talking to Amber, I'm talking to you guys. But the everybody knows thing is done. The new opening sequence is very cool. I'll say that. It's the journey of Bruce Wayne to find Aquaman, and he's traveling through the Arctic. And they kind of teased the opening already. They showed I forget. I follow the guy on Twitter and Instagram. I forget the guy, the core photography, the lead photography guy. What's his face? No, it's not Zack. You have different people in your team. He's like the head of cinematography. I can't remember his name, but I follow him on Instagram. A while ago, he posted on Instagram like he was so happy about the new sequence, because like, and Zack also took a picture of him and or his name in the credits, and the credits showed the Arctic. So they're doing the Bruce Wayne tracking down using detective stuff to find the Aquaman. Yeah, but I mean, there's going to be new music. Junkie XL is back. Danny Elfman's gone. Uh, yeah, so you won't hear the Batman theme again. You will hear the Batman theme again. Danny Elfman's Batman theme will be used briefly a couple times in the Flash movie for Michael Keaton, because it's Keaton's theme.
I feel like the Snyder Cut will make sad Bat Affleck into happy Bat Affleck.
No, there'll be a new sad Affleck meme, because they'll probably have him mourning next to the body of somebody he cares about. There'll be a new sad Affleck meme, most likely. Most likely. Because, I mean, everything that happens with Darkseid appearing on Earth is Batman's fault. It is. Yeah, that's him. Fabian. Yeah. Yeah, Junkie XL is back. And I think our least favorite composer's back. I think they brought back Mr. Soundman. Mr. I like to make sounds. I don't compose things. He said he was a sound guy. He's never said I'm a composer of superhero themes. Can't stand him. I like Junkie better, because at least Junkie like tends to make like he tries to make themes, and his music's pretty good. But I don't like Zimmer. I can't stand Zimmer. This movie is not going to be a success when we have Snyder's movies done so well. This is just facts. Oh, you guys really think that the movie's not going to be well? I think people are going to eat their words.
No, it is going to be a success.
But I also think that, I don't know.
It's going to blow people.
It's going to make, there's going to be a lot of controversy. There's going to be things going around that Snyder hates women, Snyder's a racist because a certain character died or whatever.
Everybody's going to die.
But yeah, a lot of characters are going to die. It's just, I don't know. It's you're gonna have the media calling the Snyder fans toxic again, and just
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense though, because in real life, even like tales of like Amazon women and stuff, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure the whole legend of Amazons, like, they did die out. They did get killed eventually. So in reality, even the actual Amazons in history got killed. I mean, in history and stuff like this, like, women and children did really get killed. You know, like, if you're gonna kill people of like certain ethnicities or whatever like this, it's like if you're gonna kill everybody, then everybody is gonna die, no matter what ethnicity or gender you are. You're all gonna die. So I don't. It's just like I feel like Zack Snyder is not. He doesn't hate anybody. He's just a realist. He's just like he doesn't. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna be like, oh, let's not show this pretty princess getting like run through because she's pretty. Like he's just showing reality. Like
I can actually
bad things happen to
I
everybody.
I can do an impression of you like when Steppenwolf starts like hacking up Amazons and there's blood. Like as soon as it happens, Amber's gonna go, ah.
Well, I mean, like I'm not very good at watching stuff that's bloody. I think that it should act like Snyder likes to show things like it's like realistic, like how it would really be.
Mm-hmm.
And like he did a great job like in that 300 movie, and I like a lot of DC films because it's more realistic. Like that's why I like DC versus Marvel. It's like I, you know, it's uncomfortable. Like the truth is uncomfortable to watch. Like realism is uncomfortable to watch, but it's still like realistic. It's like, yeah, I mean, like just because Amazon Ware looks pretty doesn't mean she's not gonna have blood when she dies. So it's just like that's just realistic.
Amber's more than my friend. She's my wife. You must be new. That's my wife.
I'm Luke's wife.
15 years, Jinx.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean like I feel bad that I mean I think you're right. Cancel culture will try to cancel Zack Snyder, which I think is ridiculous because I don't really understand why like people are always trying to find some I don't know, it's just like why can't it's like when you have to change the plot of a movie so you don't offend certain groups of people or certain people and be like, well, we were gonna have this character die, but this character is a certain, gender or ethnicity, so we're just gonna have them not die. It's like then you're literally changing the entire plot of the film so that you don't offend people. So you have to change the realistic plot of the film, and it just makes movies and TV not realistic anymore. In reality, everyone would die, even if the person is nice, even if the person is an ethnicity or gender that you don't want to die, they're still going to die. Even if it's a little kid, you don't want them to die, they're still going to die. It doesn't make any sense to change what would actually happen based on the fact that you are uncomfortable with it. It's like that's the entire point. That's the entire point. Like that's the entire point. The fact that he's gonna have all these Amazons die, that's the whole point.
Yeah, but
having more women that look really pretty or whatever die, that's the entire point. He's trying to make it more.
They're not the only casualty though in that war of humans. I mean, they just the Twitter people, the Twitter crazies are just focusing on
I'm
the Amazons.
Saying that's Zack Snyder's point, is showing like that everything to explain, like for shock value, to explain like this is how horrible it is.
The only
I was gonna say
the only thing that I think that people might take away from this is seeing how they're going to interpret that the Justice League is incredibly weak compared to when Darkseid was driven off the earth by the Greek gods and stuff like that. Because I mean, yeah, the Greek gods are like really strong in the stuff that was cut, but at the same time, Darkseid, either he's gotten stronger in the thousands of years since he last tried to conquer Earth, or I don't know, like Superman is still recovering from being dead, but he I think he attacks the Justice League when they're not even really expecting it.
So did the Greek gods were able to get Darkseid off of Earth, or no?
They eat him off Earth like through a boom tube or something like that. But I believe some Greek gods die in the beginning sequence too.
Oh, so it's tied into Greek mythology, just like with the Amazons and stuff.
Yeah, because Wonder Woman in this universe is the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what you're saying is you think the Justice League is stronger or not as strong as the Greek gods?
I think just like in some other depictions of Darkseid, I think that they were attacked unexpectedly. It doesn't. I don't really have the details of how Darkseid basically destroys the Justice League.
But Darkseid is so scary. Like,
Yeah.
I think Darkseid could destroy the Justice
Oh, of course
League,
he can.
That's the thing
There's
like,
only 7 of them.
He's like terrifying, and they don't even have a very big Justice League yet. They haven't even gotten all their. They don't have like. Well, do they have Martian Manhunter? I don't even know. Like,
Martian Manhunter's in the movie, but I can't tell you what happens to him.
So it's like I don't even know how many. I mean, they don't have all the extended people in their thing, like, you know, Black Canary and everybody. They don't have like all these people.
No,
like
they have a small group.
Like, they don't have like all of the people. Like, you know, they don't have obviously that one guy from the future. I forgot what his name is, but yeah, exactly. Like, they don't have everybody in their group. They don't have that satellite tower that Batman made. So, what you think that they're going to lose then? Like, Justice League will lose to Darkseid, and then he'll kill everybody, and then that's the end of the movie. Like, he'll just Thanos snap people, but instead of
Flash is.
But instead of Thanos snapping half the people, he'll just Thanos snap everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Darkseid doesn't care about survivors.
Yeah.
The last thing that I've heard, and it could be wrong, or sometime in the movie, like, Flash is going to be the focal point, because Ezra Miller's coming back for the Flash movie, and the whole aspect of the Flash movie is, like, time travel, multiverse.
Yeah.
So if they end the movie with Flash, like, running away from the destruction of the League, because... You know that the League loses because the nightmare sequence happened. Like, there's a couple nightmare sequences that happen in this Snyder Cut.
Okay.
Both Bruce freaking out and having a dream again. The dream sequence is back. And then seeing more of it. And then the world following the prediction and becoming that. Like, very quickly. The destruction of the Justice League, all this other stuff.
It's like he had a premonition.
Right. Almost. And then Flash running away. Like...
You could talk to Bruce from the past and then prevent it from happening, or make another timeline.
I guess it makes another timeline. I don't know.
But that's why, I mean, I've always said this. I know I'll probably make people mad, but I've always said the Darkseid is like way more powerful than, you know, Thanos, because number one, he's not purple.
This is when he was baby Darkseid.
Yeah, it's like Darkseid is scary. Like, that's why I think DC is so cool, because it's like Darkseid is, you know, Darkseid, like, Thanos wanted to restart the universe by snapping it and, you know, make it better or whatever. Darkseid just wants to kill everybody. He doesn't even care. Like, he will just, like, kill everyone in the whole universe. He doesn't even care. Like, there is no hope, like, with Darkseid. He's just so scary. The only person who's ever stood up against Darkseid is Superman, right?
No, all the Leaguers don't die. They have a team of 7. So you have 3 survive. Well, technically 3. Technically 3 survive, and I'm not going to tell you who they are. Well, no, you know Batman and Flash is 1. So those are the 2 that I'll tell you that live. Out of the 7 that fight Darkseid, or the 7 that are around.
The 2 people that have ever stood up against Darkseid are Superman, and didn't Batman stand up against Darkseid?
Yeah, but technically he died.
Oh, so he died. But
he stood up against Darkseid in the comics, and he got sent back to the past.
Oh wow, Superman did though. Did he kill Darkseid or no?
Superman.
Or no? Tends, or Darkseid killed him.
Superman tends to get his butt kicked a little bit. Like, I'm not saying in this movie, but usually Superman loses to Darkseid sometimes, and then ends up getting turned into a Darkseid puppet.
I thought that Cyborg was the one that made the boom tubes, though. Like, whatever they're called, boom tubes.
Cyborg is made of mother boxes in the New 52, so, yeah.
So wouldn't he be really essential in the plot to, like, get rid of Darkseid? Or they're just, because of the actor not working for them anymore, now they're gonna mess that whole part up of it?
No, all of Ray Fisher's stuff is in this movie. Like, all his pivotal scenes, all his reshoots, it's very... Cyborg is going to play a key role in the plot. Key characters, Batman, Superman, Darkseid, Flash, kind of. Although Flash doesn't really have a substantial role until the end of the movie. And then you have, what's another character? Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and
I
they don't really have a major role.
I have a question.
They're
though.
in it. Yeah.
So, like, what if this movie does so well that, like, everyone's jaws hitting the floor and everyone's like, oh my gosh, we wish we would have had this instead of the Justice League? Will they literally hire Zack Snyder to do the second Justice League for
Zack said he's done.
Really?
Zack...
So he's just, like, walking away with flames behind him, putting
Yep.
on his sunglasses
Yep.
with explosions, and then they're calling him on the phone and he throws his phone into the ocean and he buys his own island and he sits there eating pina coladas or whatever and he's just done.
Yep.
And the world is searching for him, but they'll never find him because now he's James Bond.
Yep. And he doesn't. He said on numerous interviews it's been 3 months now. Whenever they bring up like, if this does amazing, would you come back and tell more stories for this universe? And he's like, this is the end of my story for this. He says, I originally wanted to do 3 movies, but he says this 4-hour film is going to answer all as questions as I could, and it's going to show that this is it.
I feel like he's like,
and
yeah,
you know,
just like, he's so mad because people like they literally took his baby and cut it up and destroyed it and added like goofy, like shiny, happy scenes in it.
Everybody's trying to dare him to do a hosting of Joss Whedon's Justice League to see him roast the movie, because people want him to. He does watch parties. He did watch parties of BVS. He also, after he finished Justice League, he went through and he recut. He did another cut of Justice League, Justice League, BVS Dawn of Justice. He did something with it and he put it on HBO Max. Like, it's some type of, like, it's either the ultimate cut or there's some additional stuff to it now. I don't know.
That's cool. Is there any way that this movie is gonna be like horrible? Is it gonna be bad?
It could be like a really bad like B horror movie, or like yeah, it's 50-50. Like
it could be bad. Like maybe he thinks it's like amazing, but in reality
it's his vision
like,
though.
whoa.
It's his vision.
But,
so
I mean, okay, all right. May I ask a question then? Are we then going to see Superman with a long black hair in the
black
dark
suit, no long hair,
Oh,
no mullet.
Awesome. So
no mullet.
So they don't want it with the long hair then?
No, they didn't. I mean, you know, they never planned on putting him in the long hair.
Oh, they were just gonna have him in the black suit.
They wanted the regeneration suit. I'll say this about Snyder, okay? Snyder he understands Frank Miller Batman, and he's a super fan of that, going back into his press tours talking about BVS. He understands Superman more than I do, more than most people. His influences for Superman is Dan Jargens, the guy who killed Superman in the 90s and did a lot of great Superman stories later on and before then in the 1980s. Snyder is a Superman fan. That's why he did Man of Steel. He did not like Lois and Clark. He did not like Superman the animated series.
Shame on him for that.
Yeah, so he didn't like those portrayals of Superman. But he understands the character.
I would watch BVS over and over again. I think it's so good. I love BVS, so I'm putting my vote in that this is going to be one of the best like DC movies of all time. I think it's going to be really awesome. I think it's going to be so cool. I think like you're going to like watch it and then like 3 days later you're still not going to be over watching it. You're going to be like, "Whoa, what just happened?"
Yep. And even though Zack's vision is the way it is and the movie did get an R rating or whatever, I'm still betting that some things are going to be cut out of the movie that the studio doesn't like. So I mean, but I'm pretty sure that the leaguers that die is going to still stay in the movie. Jared Leto is not going to let them trim stuff out. Martian Manhunter, so happy to be in the movie, and he did some additional scenes.
I think I'm gonna have to leave the room for some of the scenes.
I'm gonna say this right now. If Martian Manhunter dies after being introduced, like Darkseid like bursts him into flames, I'm just gonna be so angry, because even I don't know if Martian Manhunter is one of the 7 that dies. Like, I know 3 characters right off the bat that get killed pretty quickly, and it's surprising. Because I mean they easily dispatched of Steppenwolf like it was no problem. But
oh my gosh, so a lot of characters will die. So, is it possible if people die in this universe, like we'll watch them die a horrible, horrible death, and then Flash goes back, and then they're still alive in another timeline? Then, after we watch them die?
How one person has explained it to me, like sometime during the movie, probably near the end, Flash runs away as fast as he can because Earth is basically, it's over.
Yeah.
And they just roll the credits because Flash leaves.
Oh my gosh!
And because
That would be cool.
because it's left open like that,
And
you
then
don't know what's going to happen.
And then he talks to other Batman. The Batman that he talks to in the next movie will not be Ben Affleck then.
Right. But
It
Ben
will
Affleck
be-
Ben Affleck is going to appear in the Flash movie. How I want it to go is I want them to go with the thing where Flash just disappears and roll credits, you know, have the really cool Justice League theme that Junkie made, and just boom, that's it. And then have immediately when the Flash movie opens up, have him pop out somewhere in the multiverse.
Whoa.
Because he's gonna meet all these different
Yeah.
characters.
Then you would have had to watch the 4-hour thing.
You have to watch the 4-hour Justice League and
to
then
know
go
where
see
he
the
came
Flash.
from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be fantastic.
Yep.
Then only the people that watch that movie would know, like, you know, where he came from and stuff like that, or what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
That would be so cool. I love when there's, like, mystery like that, you know, you have no idea. You know, like, it just pops out of nowhere. It's unexplained, and, you know, you're running from somewhere else. Yeah, that's so cool.
I think we're gonna hear "Run Barry Run" a lot in like one part of the movie.
I'm kind of excited for that. I don't mind. I'm used to. I mean, I loved the Flash show. Well, the first season I loved it. As it got more emo and weird and about people's weird problems with their apartment key, and you know, like, this person doesn't like me. It's just like, okay, this is getting too emo. I really liked the first season of Flash. It was so cool. Yeah, so I don't mind the Run Barry Run.
So
great.
there's another hokey thing that I just want to throw it out here because I don't know if this is going to happen, but the way that DC has been doing stuff and Warner Brothers, I'm saying that this is not a possibility, but the fact that I've heard that the same thing has been mentioned, it worries me because I don't like this actress. I think that she should be fired because she's a horrible person. But
I think I know what you mean.
one way the movie could end if this happened, and I cannot get a confirmation on this, but there are some publications that are talking about this, that they're excited about this, and I'm not, because I like the thing that I heard from a source where Flash runs and then it ends after, like, you know, the death of basically the Justice League. Like, because the Nightmare sequence had different characters alive than the characters that die who didn't in the Nightmare world. Like, the Nightmare world was Bruce's nightmare, a glimpse into the future, and then the future still, it changed, but it changed worse because more people died fighting Darkseid than originally. But the other thing is that new members of the Justice League get appointed to replace the members that die by Batman, and one of those people who ends up in the League is Mira.
Replace the actress.
Right. Along with
somebody who's not
along with some other characters, or, you know, because they're trying to have a final assault on Darkseid or something. I don't like this because, I mean, it's not really a good continuation to have Mira and some of these other people, like, as team members, because then those other characters are dead completely.
Yeah, exactly. They should be alive in another timeline. That's the whole point of Barry running back.
Yeah, so that's why I like
to save them.
that's why I like the contact that said it's Flash at the end and he runs away, like, because there's nothing left that can be done.
Well, the thing is, like, Mira isn't really a Justice League member anyway, though.
Well, she would replace Aquaman. Oops.
What? That's so stupid.
Right, but this doesn't have any connection to Jason Momoa's Aquaman 2 movie. That's the thing.
Mira isn't interested in being part of the Justice League, as far as I know. She lives under the sea. Like, I don't understand.
She's ordered to replace Aquaman because...
Ordered?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can order an Atlantean around.
It's essentially the end of the world. They need her powers, and they have spaces open on the team.
Okay, this is the thing is, if Barry runs away and everyone dies, he's kind of a coward. Like, if he runs away and then he's able to save everyone, he's a hero. But if he runs away and everybody dies, he's kind of a coward because he left all his friends to die. That's how I feel. Like, if the whole point of him running is to go back in time and save them.
Well, he thinks he's going back in time.
Oh, so he had intentions to save them, maybe. But
I don't know.
I could think of a lot better people to replace, like, the Justice League members than Mira. I mean, Mira's really awesome. I mean, she's a really cool character, but I would replace the actress.
Is it 100%? Is all this 100% confirmed yet? Some of it is speculation. Some of it is things that I've heard from sources at Warner Media, and some of these sources have been like pretty spot on for the past, I don't know, 6 years.
The thing is, like, how can you replace, like, I don't really know who would die, but, like, think of the people that you're talking about. We're talking about Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, you know, Batman, like, whatever. These are, like, core characters of the Justice League. They can't really be replaced.
I don't know if GL appears as, like, fighting or just, like, talks to them.
I'm just saying, like, you can't replace Superman. You cannot replace Wonder Woman. You can't have Green Arrow jump in and be like, hey, I'll replace Superman.
Stephen Amell.
It's like, no, you can't, because they're not, and like, Superman's way up here on power level 1 trillion, and, you know, Green Arrow has an arrow. He's on power level 1. Like, you cannot replace, like, I'm sorry.
Power level 1, poor Green Arrow. Level 1.
Mira can't, like, replace Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is, like, 50, million power level.
No.
Mira
She wouldn't.
Would be, like,
no.
Maybe, like,
no.
20
She wouldn't.
power
She
level.
wouldn't be replacing. She'd be replacing the Atlantean on the team. She would be AquaWoman. Stunning and brave.
But she doesn't have Aquaman's powers. She just has
would take
water powers.
She has different powers.
Right. I know. That's exactly why it would be stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think she has the same powers as Aquaman.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the potential, like, drama that's going on with the Batman movie. I mean, if Robert Pattinson's hard to work with, whatever. I hope he does a trilogy. Matt Reeves, I mean, if he's really having issues with Robert Pattinson, then he probably shouldn't have fired Ben Affleck. I'm just saying.
Okay, I have actually watched, because I used to really like the Twilight series and stuff like this. I actually watched a lot of Robert Pattinson interviews, and he actually admitted that he almost got fired from the Twilight movies several times because he was just very, like, stubborn, and he wanted to play the character his way, and the directors were just like, no, you need to play the character, like, this way, and he was like, no, I think, my whatever it's called, vampire character needs to be like this. And they were just like, dude, if you don't listen to us, you're gonna get fired. And he was finally like, fine, I'll play it your way. But, like, even in his own words, Robert Pattinson has said that he, does things his own way. He's actually said that in interviews where he has actually admitted that he's almost gotten fired other places for doing things his own way.
Yeah, Amber has seen Twilight.
I thought Twilight was pretty cool.
Oh, gosh.
But I don't know. I only saw the first movie. After that, it got weird. Especially when, like, what's her name had to become a
No, don't do the...
She had to attack the deer, and then she got, like, way too into it.
Don't do the plot of Twilight, please. Okay. I had to, when Amber got back from the theaters, I had to hear about Twilight. Amber is also, people know, Amber is a girl, right? Amber likes things that girls like. Twilight.
Girls like Twilight.
There you go.
Because what girl doesn't want to, like, end up with a mysterious vampire?
Okay. Do you guys have any Justice League related questions or things that you, so we can wrap this up, because I can't lose my voice because I'm doing Wind Waker streams every night. Non-Twilight related questions. I'll do 5 questions and then I'm gonna call it a night. But I'm still gonna do my Justice League's.
Chad says his wife loves Twilight too.
Yeah, most women do. Different strokes for different folks.
Garrett says Amber watched Twilight. I will unsub now.
Jason Todd is not in this universe. Dick Grayson is the only dead Robin. He's the only Robin. The plan was to have Carrie Kelly. Somebody was asking before, how do you know that Frank Miller is a key influence into Zack Snyder? In his house, he has like, I wouldn't say a shrine, but he has like some stuff to Frank Miller. He's got the Frank Miller books. He's got posters. You know, he really likes The Dark Knight Returns, which is funny because as a Superman fan, you would think that he would hate Frank Miller because Frank Miller does not like Superman. So it's interesting that a Superman fanboy like Zack Snyder loves Frank Miller stuff, and Frank Miller does not like Superman. So I mean, and Superman was portrayed terribly in the Frank Miller books. So I always find that interesting.
What was that other Batman actor that people said was really hard to work with on set?
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, I'm sure Robert Pattinson can't be as bad as Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer almost walked off the set several times. I know, how ironic. 4 more questions. Any news on Gotham Knights? Not yet. Soon.
Well, I'm just like putting this out there. One person that is super powerful in the DC universe who would not be in Zack Snyder's universe because of reasons, probably could replace powerful members. That would be Shazam.
Shazam or Dr. Fate.
Oh yeah, Dr. Fate would be great. Yeah.
Zachary Levi said bad things about Zack Snyder in the Snyder Cut, so I don't see him popping up in any future Zack Snyder Justice League movies.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I should still make friends with him and
I want to know. I've been looking on Zachary Levi's Twitter for like months after Snyder Cut was officially announced, and it doesn't seem like he's ever printed a retraction, unfortunately. What do you think of Stephen Amell as Green Arrow? I liked him as Green Arrow. I also liked him as Lego Green Arrow and wanted him to appear as... Actually, he technically was an Injustice Green Arrow. I've got no problems with Stephen Amell. I think he did good. That was the 3rd question. 2 more questions.
I don't know who Deathstroke is.
Deathstroke? Deathstroke is in the movie. Deathstroke is... Okay, you don't remember...
How big is the Deathstroke role? Somebody's asking. I don't know who Deathstroke is.
Deathstroke is...
I thought the person autocorrected Darksied.
No. Do you remember Deathstroke was the guy who wears robes and he has like all this technology and he's kind of like Darkseid's right-hand guy next to Calabac and stuff like that.
I guess I didn't...
Deathstroke is like a general. He is kind of like the creator of the...
Do you want me to get your fiddling thing?
No. He kind of like made the parademons or something like that. I don't know how big of a role Deathstroke has, but Deathstroke is in the movie. They have an actor for him. He'll be in a lot of the Apocalypse stuff. He'll probably appear in the Nightmare sequences and the end of the movie. Calabac I don't think is in the movie. There might be a character that looks like Calabac that's with Darkseid's forces, like when they're fighting the Earth humans at the beginning of the movie. Or, you know, when Wonder Woman tells the story of the big battle, which is not the beginning of the movie. I don't know when it happens. But Deathstroke, Steppenwolf, and Darkseid are really the only big Apocalypse people. You're not going to see any Furies or Granny Goodness, I don't think. People
want to know if Jared Leto's like lips are lipstick or blood.
That's what I don't understand. The image where he has like all the ones that I've seen, the image where he has the GCPD police badges on his bulletproof vest, and he looks like kind of like this seasoned killer. It was a color image, and his lips did not look like Joker lipstick. It did look like blood. So I mean, I don't know. Jury's still out. I don't know.
What about the new gods like Orion?
The new gods I don't think are in the movie. There's a new gods movie that's happening. Let's do one more question. So Cannibal Joker, I don't know. It's creepy Joker.
I don't think Supergirl will be in it.
No Supergirl is not going to be in it.
Because they don't really have, no offense, I know she's not really a sidekick character, but she kind of is in Snyder's eyes.
Deathstroke appears in the Nightmare sequence. And he breaks Lex Luthor out of jail and may or may not fight Batman in it. Apparently, Zack Snyder filmed a fight sequence before he was yeeted off the film between Batman and Deathstroke briefly, in Justice League. So that may or may not have made it back into the movie. But he plays a big role briefly in the Nightmare sequence, and he appears as present-day Deathstroke breaking Lex out of prison.
No, I don't think that Black Adam will be in it because Shazam's not going to be in it. And no, Harley is not in it. We already talked about
Harley
that.
is not in the movie.
I don't know why
as
people
far as
are
I know.
asking if there's an end of credit scene. We don't know.
No, there wouldn't be an end of credit scenes.
It's 4 hours.
There's either a recasting of the Justice League, meaning Mira and a couple other people's replaced the dead Leaguers that died fighting Darkseid. Or the other ending that I heard is Flash runs after the battle with Darkseid when the Justice League loses and there's no hope, and he's super emotional, and because he's so emotional, he triggers the Speed Force and disappears. And that's the end of the movie. Like, he just runs off, boom, and then Justice League credits roll with the Justice League theme by Junkie XL and Zimmer. And then the movie would continue, or rather the Flash actor would continue coming out of the Speed Force in his own movie, which would have him bump into other multiverse people like Keaton and a different version of Affleck's character who may or may not die in the movie, things like that.
Yeah, Lex is in the movie as far as I know. In fact, he's very much in the movie.
Lex is in Justice League briefly.
Oh, okay, never mind.
He gets broken out of prison by the sequence on the boat was Whedon. It was never that. The Injustice thing was not Zack. Deathstroke busts Lex out of Arkham and he fights Batman.
Ooh, will Deathstroke be in the movie then?
Deathstroke is in the movie in a minor role. In the future, like Ruined Earth, and supposedly in the present, unless they cut it for violence.
And we've already said Darkseid is very much in the movie.
Darkseid's going to have I wouldn't say a substantial role. He's in it. Steppenwolf dies in it.
Will the movie will Snyder's vision meet up to expectations?
If people, it's not people live long enough. If people stay awake long enough to watch the whole movie, probably.
Coffee.
Yeah. All right, let's do one more question and then call it. Because I don't want this to be a 2-hour podcast. That was fun though. One more Snydercut question.
I don't know.
I'll probably fall asleep. Yeah, I probably will. Depends.
I mean, I have questions about Snyder if he has a problem with WB. I don't know. Like,
obviously. He's being romanced by Disney or something to make movies or something like that. Not MCU ones, but it was either Paramount or Sony that was looking at Snyder. Because Warner Brothers, he doesn't really want to do much.
No, there's no miniseries. It's going to be a 4-hour movie.
It's a 4.5-hour movie.
We already answered that about Black Adam and Harley.
No Harley, no Black Adam. Mira's in it. Yay.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Amber Heard came back to film additional scenes in the midst of her abuse allegations and court stuff. Zack welcomed her back with open arms. Yay. How big is Darkseid role going to be? You'll feel his presence throughout the movie, whereas before he just would have had like a Easter egg at the beginning fighting so-and-so, the Earth people, the Greek gods and stuff like that, and getting the head of his nephew. Apparently he's going to show up in the movie to kill the Justice League, like near the end of the movie. So I would say he's probably in the movie for like maybe 15 minutes if you count all his scenes. That'd be my guess. I could be wrong. He could be in more than that, but there's a lot of Cyborg, there's a lot of Batman, there's a lot more Superman, and there's no more cringy lines like, "What's Death like? Death was itchy." So that that was all Whedon. That was
so stupid.
I know that wasn't.
Like, it would be more than
Oh,
cheap.
I remember. The guy who played Superman's dad may or may not be in the movie too. The guy, I don't remember who he was. The guy in Man of Steel, Jonathan Kent, I think it has a sequence with Clark or Superman.
No, this is not I don't believe this is a sequel to Justice League.
No.
It's redoing it what it was supposed to be originally.
It's redoing it. It's combining elements of Zack Snyder's 3 Justice League movies he wanted to make.
Yeah, so this is like a remaking of it before they destroyed his movie. Sorry, I didn't mean to like say it like that. I just was just trying to clarify.
Oh, I want to tell you guys one thing that is kind of funny. Martian Manhunter scenes will be both comedic and they'll further the plot. At one point, Lois Lane meets with... This is just a crazy rumor I've heard, but I kind of like this one. At one point, Lois Lane meets with Martha Kent in Metropolis randomly after the death of Superman, which, you know, apparently after their discussion, whatever it was, Martha Kent ends up leaving the Daily Planet or wherever Lois was, and she turns into Martian Manhunter. Like, most of Martian Manhunter's role in the movie, you're going to see him as different characters. Shape-shifting.
Which is what he does.
Yeah.
Yes, we've already said Martian Manhunter is in the movie. And, oh, somebody said they're going to need energy cans to watch the movie.
You're going to need to find ways of staying awake.
Somebody wants to know, what is your favorite Snyder movie or Snyder DC movie?
BVS. I liked BVS aside from the abomination that they did to Doomsday.
Well, okay, you had a question. Will this start a whole new universe or...
No.
This is like an alternate universe
because the AquaMan movie talked about this differently. The Wonder Woman 84 movie and all this other stuff, it's completely different. Shazam movie is different. This is the end of the Snyder Cut. This is the end of the Snyderverse.
So I have a weird question. Is there going to be any humor at all in this movie, or it's just going to be completely dark?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. There's flirting. There's a lot of flirting scenes between Lois and Superman, Wonder Woman and Batman.
What?
Yep. There's humor.
Yeah, Lois.
There is BVS style Alfred and Batman stuff. Not Josh Whedon really super cringy Alfred and Batman dialogue. If you like the dialogue that Alfred and Bruce had in BVS, then you'll probably like this Justice League better. Does that make sense? Because a lot of the cringy lines and jokes were all Whedon. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah, I think we got we got a lot of stuff that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys, I think, like, a lot of people are asking the same questions, like, so, I mean, like, I don't know what you guys mean by Batman fight scene, like, yeah, I'm sure he'll fight a lot of people.
There's Batman fighting parademons. There's supposed to be, unless they cut it, Batman versus Deathstroke. But HBO Max wants to do a Batman miniseries.
Do we know when this movie is actually going to release?
March 18th.
Oh my gosh.
1 month after my birthday.
So this is coming up.
Yeah. There's a huge marketing push for the Snyder Cut. That's why they're not really talking about like Gotham Knights or really a lot of other stuff, because the push is the Snyder Cut.
We can only watch this on HBO Max?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll be watching it off our PS4.
But yeah, you guys, for people wondering, like, will somebody die? Yes, there are going to be a lot of people dying.
Joker has a minor role, but he appears most in Batman scenes. So you guys are going to get to see Batman and Joker interact in some capacity. I don't know if Ben Affleck and Jared Leto were actually on the same stage together acting, but they'll be talking to each other. So.
Yeah, like a lot of you guys are asking questions like, you know, is Supergirl going to be in it? Is, like, Batgirl gonna be in it? Like, is, you know, Robin gonna be in it? Like, not really side characters aren't really gonna be in it. It's like main, like, heavyweight, like, Justice League characters. I'm not, like, trying to put any other characters down, but if Robin is dead, then there's no way Batgirl's gonna be in it. Okay, I'm done.
It's possible that the Batman versus Deathstroke fight will make it into the Snyder Cut because it was supposedly filmed according to the Deathstroke actor years ago. And he's also told people that when you see the movie, you're going to see the Bat versus my character, because the jail sequence was edited down heavily to where Batman appeared to, Lex or whatever. And then some other stuff happened, and Batman had to go fight Deathstroke, but Lex got away, and Deathstroke got away. But,
Yeah, so to answer everyone's questions, it will meet expectations. It's going to be amazing.
But it's going to be long.
You guys will not want to miss it. It is going to be in March. You guys will need to get HBO Max. Otherwise, just go over to the fun, happy, colorful side of the universe of Marvel. No, I'm just kidding.
Batman will kill in this movie, but only in the Nightmare universe. So, sorry. Superman's regime has taken over the world because he's one of Darkseid's acolytes, which you guys saw in BVS. Batman is the leader of the Resistance, and he uses guns. So Superman's human allies, as well as parademons, when Batman runs into them, they will die.
All I'm taking away from this whole discussion is I'm more terrified to see this movie than ever before. I'm actually afraid to see it.
It's an R-rated movie. I mean, I don't like gore. There wasn't when Batman was killing people and breaking their necks and stuff in the BVS, even the Ultimate Cut, there wasn't really a lot of gore.
I feel like as a DC fan, I'm obligated to watch this movie, but as a me, which is, I like watching Hello Kitty and Kirby, this is going to be difficult for me to watch. Alright.
I don't like that Zack Snyder has Batman kills based on Sunday Movies, that YouTube channel. Mr. Sunday Movies, it's kind of all his fault. Because, I mean, I love that video he made, but Zack uses that as kind of like one of his sources of inspiration of justifying why Batman kills. And I never like that.
Are you excited for it, Luke?
Am I excited for the movie? Yeah. I mean, I've learned a lot about the movie. I've done personal research. I've heard rumors. I've heard from people at Warner Media telling me certain things. And I'm most excited about Martian Manhunter, the possibility of a Green Lantern showing up. Darkseid especially. And also seeing Steppenwolf, not get killed by parademons and have the Justice League dispatch him is pretty cool. And I'm just, I like the whole Wonder Bat aspect of the film. I think that's going to be fun. I'm not, the only thing that I'm not happy about is that it's 4 hours long. I was looking forward to the bite-sized episodes of 45 minutes to an hour chunk, as a mini series, because it's more doable with my schedule. And depending on what happens on the 18th, I could lose a lot of income because I won't really be able to work very much. I don't think you guys would want to see Amber and my reaction the first time seeing the movie, because we probably have not the best facial expressions for a lot of scenes. If they show the dead Robin stuff, I'm going to be super angry. But they probably are going to show Dick Grayson's grave as kind of a, finger to DC from Zack, because they filmed it for BVS. So I have a feeling a lot of stuff that was filmed in BVS that didn't make it in BVS is going to be in Justice League as well. So, oh well. But I'm spent. You guys have a great night. Thanks so much for listening. Especially this podcast was super bare bones. There's just an image of Joker staring at you. Sleep well after looking at that vicious clown all night. And jeez. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to be hard at work on the Batgirl Gotham Knights thing, because Gotham Knights stuff is going to be not trickling out anytime soon, but they're doing a lot of marketing for Zack Snyder's movie right now, and then after that they're going to be marketing the Superman show, and then Then they'll get to Gotham Knights stuff. Probably by mid-March, you'll learn more about it. So I need to get my 3 videos done and up before that happens, or I'll just be re-saying information that, you know, I guessed correctly. So have a great one, people, and thanks for listening. If you want to check out my Wind Waker series and help that out, you can go over to my Let's Play channel. Every night at 9 o'clock is Wind Waker. If you guys like Legend of Zelda, go for it. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for listening to Knightcast here on Nightwing 01. Have a fantastic night. Later, Gothamites.